So I've worked for 18 years in the travel and cruise industry, and that's 12 years at sea and 6 years on land. And I'm sure, as you do, we do, everyone wants to get the best and the most for your money. So with this in mind, in this week's Planet Cruise Weekly, we're going to look at how to cruise on a budget. Well, welcome to Planet Cruise Weekly. I'm Keith Maynard, and today you probably noticed I've been joined by a new co-presenter, our lovely Kim, who is an ex-sailor from, is it Princess Cruises?
Princess Cruises, yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah, 7 years.
7 years, Deputy Cruise Director. We are very, very lucky indeed. So lots to come from Kim throughout the episode. Now, but when you're looking at cruising or even going on holiday as a whole, most people, unless you are a millionaire, will have to cruise or work with a budget, whether you want to try and save a few pennies, whether you're just looking for the best deal just because you want to or you can. And cruising, funnily enough, is one of the best ways to deal with this because there's so much included. There's so much that you get for your money that your money travels that bit further. So before we start in proper, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and also click the bell in the corner. It's very, very simple. Ding, dong, done. Funnily enough, one of the best ways to cruise on a budget and save your pennies is to consider going for an all-inclusive cruise. Try saying that after you've had a couple of drinks on your all-inclusive cruise package. Because, funnily enough, when you're on any kind of holiday, whether it's landside, Kim, or whether it's on board a ship, there's all the extras. You know, so okay, fair enough. You may with a cruise, you pay for your accommodation and then you get your meals in the main restaurant.
Yep.
But then when you're on board, you maybe go on a couple of tours, and then you've got your drinks bill, which could creep up. Even if you buy the drinks package, it's still going to be another long con to that. And then maybe you go for a couple of the extra kind of posh dining, you know, where
the specialty
restaurants. That's it. You know, maybe you decide you really want to kind of do something special on board. There's maybe a ship's tour you want to get involved with. All these different things, they add up. So just to be clear, Kim, what exactly is included in an all-inclusive cruise?
Okay, so what's normally considered as an all-inclusive cruise will include things like your cruise fare, your flights, where it's applicable. Okay. You've got your meals in selected dining rooms and restaurants, choices of drinks on board, so wine, beers and spirits. And some cruise lines as well, such as Marella, will actually include your tips.
Bonus. Now, we've already mentioned it earlier actually, but people who are new to cruising often don't understand that almost all drinks besides basic tea and coffee and tap water will carry a charge. And that means that if you enjoy freshly squeezed orange juices in the morning, or maybe a latte or an espresso in the afternoon, you will have to pay a little bit extra. Now, cruise drinks packages can cover all of the above, as well as mocktails if you don't want to go for a boozy night out.
So also don't forget as well to take your bottled water. So if you have a lot of shore excursions that are in hot climates where you're in the Caribbean or the Eastern Mediterranean, you'll want to bring some water with you on shore. And of course, when you're on a set tour as well, you might not have time to go to a local convenience store to get your own. So the package makes it easy to grab a bottle on your way off the ship without having to worry.
Going with that in mind, that you are there on holiday, you have got some amazing sailorways, you've got great entertainment going on. You know, you might go to the casino. There's so much to see and do on board that there will be so many opportunities for you to have an extra drink.
Yes.
And the drinks will add up. And that's where, if you are going to have maybe 3 or 4 drinks a night, it may be worth considering getting a drinks package.
It's definitely value for money.
Some cruise lines will even let you bring a bottle or two of your own wine on board, but do make sure you check with your Planet Cruise expert first, as you don't want to lose that wine.
Ask Kim on the phone to find out more.
So one of the myths that you're going to hear about in the cruising world is that booking late sometimes means you're going to get the best deals. So if you're not too worried maybe about your cabin grade, where you're located on the ship, maybe dining times, things like that, then sometimes these deals can actually be the best.
Absolutely, and that used to be the case, very much so, across the whole of the industry. If you were flexible with your dates, you were flexible with your cabin arrangements and your dining times, you could get some great deals. These days though, it's really changed, but people haven't yet caught on to the fact that actually the best deals are to be had when you book early. In some cases up to 2 years early. Point in question, I've just booked the first cruise for my family, where I'm going to take all of them away. I've taken the wife away once, but I've never had a chance to take all the girls away as well. And we've gone for secure one for 2 years in advance with a certain cruise line who are giving a great deal on, one child goes free. And it's all to do with the booking in advance. So yeah, definitely that used to be the case, but the new way is to book in advance.
And you might get little bonuses as well.
You might, little Brucey bonuses.
Yeah. Ooh. One of the biggest advantages to booking your cruise as early as possible is that you get the choice of the best staterooms on your cruise ships. The best cabins book us out early and are usually sold out months in advance. So if you want the best pick of the cabins on the ship, then you'll want to book on your cruise as early as possible. Like you said, 2 years in advance.
Pretty much, you can book early, get your best cabin, get where you want to be on the ship, and also get the best price. Actually, I've just thought of another couple of things as well. Number one, obviously, if you book early, you could maybe get more of your friends and family involved, make it a special occasion cruise.
Yep.
And the other one, actually, is that, very often, maybe a cruise line has this big spectacular cruise going to a certain location. Say, you're heading out to Iceland, for instance, and they don't come around too often. The best tours often get booked out really, really quickly, particularly when it's a rare cruise.
Yeah.
So it's really good to book early because then you make sure you can also book your tours and make sure that you get on the tour that you want to go on.
Absolutely, definitely. Also, if you think about it, when you're putting a package together, booking early will help to get everything at a cheaper price. So, for example, if you're going on a flight cruise, then the flights will be cheaper. Or if you're staying in a hotel, pre or post cruise, the hotel will be cheaper as part of your full fare.
No, so what are we saying? That it's better to book earlier?
It's better to book early. So another way to continue saving money and cruising on a budget is to possibly think about pre-registration of your next cruise or even a future cruise. So if you have a specific cruise holiday in mind, whether it's cruise line, sailing date, maybe a favourite cruise ship, then early booking can be essential to making sure you get exactly what you want. So pre-registration is an even earlier stage that we offer to provide you with the extra security of getting your desired holiday and cruise.
So just to break it down, pre-registration essentially means that you register your interest with us regarding the release of a new cruise with a specific cruise line. Cunard and P&O are big with this because there's always a lot of interest when they release their new itineraries. And once you've filled out a form on our website with your interest and your contact details, we then make sure that you're contacted by one of our cruise experts the moment that further information is released. And beyond that, in fact, we make sure that somebody is there to pick up the phone and book your cabin as soon as the lines go live. So even if at 5 in the morning, there'll be someone in Planet Cruise at 5 in the morning ready to go. So it's pretty great.
So another great idea, and it's something that we do here at Planet Cruise, which will help you when you are cruising on a budget, is that on selected sailings, you are actually able to pay for your cruise up to 12 instalments. So actually, it will make your life a lot easier when leading up to your holiday, so you haven't got to worry about paying for it all in one bulk.
Yes, it's a much better way of kind of knowing what's going to go out every month and suddenly not having a massive amount go out in one go.
Exactly.
Because that's a massive fear, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
Particularly at certain times of the year. If you're around Christmas, you want to book your next summer holiday. To lose all that money in one go is horrible.
Yeah.
So, great idea. I'm doing it currently for my next cruise.
Yeah.
I think possibly the best piece of advice for cruising on a budget is to consider a repositioning cruise.
Absolutely.
And that's mainly because ships tend to stay in an area of the world for a season, let's say 4 to 5 months. So typically they'll be during the summer in the Mediterranean and then move over to the winter to maybe Southeast Asia or go into the Caribbean, very simply. Getting between those two locations is called a repositioning cruise. And the thing is, you start in one port and you finish in a completely different one, which is kind of unusual with mainstream cruising. And because of that, and because they're odd lengths, and because there's it only happens once or twice a year, you can get some incredible deals because they don't necessarily sell as quickly as other cruises. So you can get some great bargains, you can see some amazing ports of call, and it's one of these things where they often throw in like extra entertainment.
Yeah, they do.
I mean, I remember the transatlantics we used to do with Thompson, or now called Morella Cruises, and we would get twice the amount of entertainment, twice the amount of activities going on that cruise.
Because it's a longer cruise.
Because it's a longer cruise, and because you maybe have a few more sea days going across the Atlantic or around the Pacific.
The benefit of booking one of these cruises through Planet Cruise is that we're a tailor-made company. meaning we specialise in tailor-making cruise holidays to suit your individual specifications.
So if you're on a budget, tips and gratuities can be a interesting subject.
Definitely.
And that's because so many different cruise lines deal with it in different ways. Yeah. Essentially, cruise ships used to be cashless, well, they still are cashless. And so the idea was that many cruise companies added in the gratuities automatically to make sure that people you didn't see, like your cooks, like some of the kind of 24-hour cleaning team that are up in the middle of the night when you're in bed, unless you're in the disco partying, can be rewarded for the work, that everyone gets a sense of cut of the pie. But of course, it's caused a lot of issues, particularly with the kind of British culture, which is different to American culture, where we don't necessarily tip everything that happens.
No, we only tip what we want to tip.
Yeah, exactly. But the best way of dealing with this is, some people don't realise this, that certain cruise lines actually incorporate their tips as part of the cruise fare. Off the top of my head, Morella Cruises do this,
yeah.
And there are others as well. Also, there are certain deals where they'll say tips included as well. So a really good way of managing this on a budget is to look for either lines or particular sailings where tips and gratuities are included.
Absolutely. When cruising on a budget, there are many variables to it. So you've got to make sure that you choose the right cabin grade to the sort of suitable cruising that you want, the class that you want to do. So some people like to cruise on a balcony, some people just like to go on an inside. So it's definitely worth working out exactly what you want. So for example, if I'm on a Royal Caribbean cruise, I'm not going to be looking out to sea and in my cabin that much because there's so much to do. So it would make sense for me to look at possibly going on an interior cabin. But sometimes there are deals that can make the package even better with all the other cabin grades. So there may be a small difference in the upgrade of an interior cabin price to that of a balcony. So make sure when you're looking at that you definitely see if there is any price differences and any little bonuses that may come into that, onboard credit, things like that.
Yeah, that's true, yeah, because sometimes it may cost you £20 more, let's just say, to upgrade to a balcony,
yeah.
But then you get a drinks package thrown in as well. So actually, it actually helps out. The other thing as well is that sometimes you can get really good deals if you want a budget. If you really want a balcony, then choose what we call in the industry an obstructed view,
yeah.
Which is essentially when you're kind of near part of the bulkhead or where there's a lifeboat outside the window. If you still really want that kind of experience of having a cabin, then you can do that and get it at often a really, really good price. Now, another great way to really work with a particular budget when you're cruising is to consider getting your excursions through
Planet Cruise, and that's because you can save up to 60% on excursions.
And it's great because you get to pre-book it early. You don't then have to queue up at the desk when you're on the ship. You don't have to go along to all those talks, and then don't have to deal with all the queues or worry about disappointment of getting on board and suddenly finding that the one that you once booked, it's sold out. Boo hoo hoo, it's already done. So when you book your cruise, you then look through what cruising excursions have, you book that out, you pay less, and then you can sit back and, literally, first day on board, you're not on all those, going around trying to do all the queues. You're
exactly.
Just having a couple of drinks.
And sometimes as well, the excursions are actually smaller, so a little bit more intimate, so you might get a little bit more time around.
Very, very true, yeah. And sometimes there's kind of tours offered that they don't necessarily have on board as well.
Yeah.
So there's lots of bonuses for it. And there's another thing.
What's that?
Well, all the events we do.
We do loads.
We do loads of events, don't we? We do loads
Absolutely.
of events. And if you haven't been to one yet, then why not? You really, really should get to them. So twice a year we do a luxury cruise and river cruise event, which you can come along to. And the great thing about it is that all the different lines that are in that part of the industry come along. They have great deals and offers just for that day.
Yeah.
And there's talks at Talk Theatre as well, so those little bonuses. So if you've got a particular budget, it's a great way of getting a great deal and meeting us from the team from Planet Cruise.
Yeah, absolutely.
Glenn from Atelli, other people like that. We also do one in June, which is a general one for the whole industry. It's normally down around the kind of Portsmouth, Southampton, Brighton area.
Somewhere around there.
Somewhere around there, yeah, the kind of south of England. And then we also have, of course, on a Tuesday night, at 8 p.m. on Ideal World, the Planet Cruise show, TV show, which has been running for about 9 years now.
Something like that. And again, deals that are specifically for that day.
Just for that day.
And really good deals that you can't find anywhere else.
Yeah, so another great way of getting a great deal on a budget. So hopefully we've whetted your appetite, hopefully we've given you some great advice, given you some things to think about. The number one best way, of course, of getting a great cruise at a great budget is to get in touch with us here at Planet Cruise.
Absolutely, and sometimes as well you may find us at Planet Cruise have little bonuses going on, so maybe onboard credit, free parking, anything like that really.
Yeah, definitely. Automatic upgrades, you name it, it does happen. So keep your eyes peeled. And remember, if you have subscribed or hit that bell, again, you'll get little alerts because very often there'll be a deal of the week that comes out. Or there'll be a little kind of special like pre-registration we were talking about earlier, videos telling you when you can pre-register. So if you have hit that little bell, you have actually subscribed and you do get those alerts coming through, you will be well informed and first in the queue to take advantage of some of those great deals. Thanks very much for watching. I'm Keith. This has been Kim. I don't even know your surname, Kim.
Thompson.
Kim Thompson.
Yeah.
Yeah. You haven't changed it to Morella?
No.
Do you get that?
I do, yeah, because Thompson, Morella, yeah.
It's quite good that, wasn't it?
But I'm with a P.
Ah, all your posh.
Yeah.
There you go. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Hi everyone, thanks very much for watching the video. Please don't forget to comment and subscribe below, and remember to click the bell to get those notifications turned on. And if you're looking for more fantastic travel content like this, then click on the videos to the right. It will be really, really informative. Or you can click on the planet logo to the left and go to our website for some really fantastic deals. Thanks for watching.